Well, this weekend, the South Carolina women's basketball team returns to action against Auburn, but before the game, it will be a special celebration. The great Asia Wilson is set to have her jersey retired at Colonial Life Arena on Sunday. Already with a statue out front, Asia will now have her jersey up in the rafters.
This weekend, the South Carolina women's basketball team takes the court against Auburn, but before the game, something truly special will happen. The legendary Asia Wilson is set to have her jersey retired at Colonial Life Arena on Sunday. Already immortalized with a statue outside, Wilson's number will now hang in the rafters, cementing her place in history. But here's where it gets wild. Tickets for Wilson's jersey retirement are going for as low as $16. That's right. For less than the price of a fancy burger, you could witness one of
the Caitlin Clark crash outs continue, and it's all about the Caitlin Clark now playing for Iowa. Well, she played for Iowa and her jersey being retired on the same day as Asia Wilson's. You see how it doesn't go the opposite way? Like, nobody really cares. Like, Asia Wilson has her retirement jersey on the 2nd of February, 2.2. Yeah, she wears 22. Obviously, it's the right thing to do. And then Caitlin Clark, unfortunately, wears the same number to the Asia fans, so it's the right thing to do. People being like, oh, Asia had decided hers first. Yeah, they announced Asia Wilson's first. Clark's jersey's been in the bleachers since preseason. Can you believe
WNBA history? Yet even at that bargain price, tickets are still unsold. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's fans are scrambling for $1,000 tickets for her own jersey retirement. So, what's going on here? How did Wilson, who already has a statue, end up struggling to fill seats for her own celebration? Let's break it down. Asia Wilson, three-time WNBA MVP.
Leah and Camilla, but the greatest of them all is Asia Wilson, who will have her jersey retired on Sunday. Long overdue. I know Dawn was saying there's a whole process, but if it was up to her, she probably would have had that jersey retired right after she graduated. Already has a statue.
Gold medalist and a key figure in putting South Carolina women's basketball on the map is having her jersey retired. You'd think fans would be jumping at the chance to be there, right? But reality is, the ticket sales are almost laughable. And while Wilson's jersey is just now getting its moment, Caitlin Clark, in a similar situation, has people lined up to pay top dollar for her jersey retirement ceremony. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Asia Wilson's jersey retirement has been a long time coming. You might remember that Wilson led South Carolina to their first ever national title in 2017. It was a historic moment that solidified her legacy as one of the greatest to ever play for the Gamecocks. But despite all her accomplishments, they waited 8 years to retire her jersey. Yes, you read that right. 8 years. South Carolina has this rule where they wait 5 years after a player's final college season before retiring their jersey, but even with that policy, they're 2 years late. It's almost like they just remembered they had this amazing player who deserves recognition. They even put up a statue for her in 2021, but still, her jersey remained in limbo. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement is timed perfectly, as she's currently the biggest star in women's basketball. Iowa has done everything right, creating a buzz that's generated huge demand for her retirement ceremony. Fans are so eager that the cheapest tickets for Clark's event are starting at $522, with some even surpassing $1,000. And why not? She's been the face of the sport, capturing hearts and attention from all corners of the country. So, what gives? It seems like South Carolina is trying to grab a little of that spotlight back. Their timing couldn't have been worse, retiring Wilson's jersey just as Clark is on top of the world. Instead of taking the chance to celebrate Asia at her peak, they waited too long, and now it feels like an afterthought. It's almost like South Carolina forgot to invite the guest of honor to her own birthday party. People are scratching their heads, and honestly, they have every right to. Why did it take so long for Wilson's jersey to be retired? This is the same Asia Wilson who made South Carolina.
People being like, oh, Asia had decided hers first. Yeah, they announced Asia Wilson's first. Clark's jersey's been in the bleachers since preseason. Clark's jersey has been in the bleachers since before they announced Asia's. There is a reason why there is a nationally televised game, Iowa versus USC, on the 2nd of February. This has been in the works since the day she said, since last February.
And now, she's getting overshadowed by a timing disaster. Here we have a WNBA superstar who's won Olympic gold, yet somehow we're watching her alma mater fumble what should have been a slam dunk of a celebration. I can already hear the pitchforks and flames outside my door, but hear me out. So here's what happened. Iowa announced they'll be retiring Caitlin Clark's jersey on February 5th. Yeah, you heard that right. February.
Y'all, I'm going to get jumped. I can hear the pitchforks and the flames outside of my door as we speak. So what happened was Iowa announced that they are going to be retiring Caitlin Clark's jersey on February 5th, which is in
February 5th. Like, the whole reason it's iconic is it was February the 2nd, 2.2. And date and name wrong, apparently.
in like a couple months. For my non-sports fans, this is like a huge ceremony where they put her jersey up in the rafters, and that means no one can ever wear number 22 at Iowa ever again.
Second, which would have been the perfect date given all the symbolism. But I digress. For my non-sports fans, this is a huge deal. A ceremony where Clark's number 22 will forever hang in the rafters, and no one will ever wear that number at Iowa again. That's a monument.
Because I think every single one of us knows that that is what's going to happen on the 2nd of February, is that Caitlin Clark fans are going to be celebrating Caitlin Clark. Aja Wilson fans are going to be screaming, look at Aja, look at Aja, look at Aja. And I think Aja Wilson will do a look at me. I will stand by that. Like, that would be, I genuinely think she is going to be, she's going to say something about this. I would be shocked if she doesn't.
In sports history. Now, let's dive into this wild ticket saga that's got the basketball world buzzing. When you compare Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement to Aja Wilson's, it's like comparing a fancy burger to a 5-star meal. And yes, the price difference tells a huge part of the story. Picture this. Aja Wilson, a 3-time WNBA MVP and Olympic gold medalist, is having her jersey retired. You'd think fans would be lining up around the block for tickets.
And, well, her prices for her game are high. The only problem is Caitlin Clark's are literally about 11 times higher.
Well, hold on to your seats because reality is a lot more surprising. Tickets for Wilson's ceremony are starting at just $16. That's right, for less than a movie ticket and popcorn, you can witness basketball history. But here's the kicker. Even at that bargain basement price, they're still not sold out. Ouch. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's retirement ceremony in Iowa City is like trying to score front row seats at a sold-out concert. We're talking ticket prices soaring from $200 to over $1,000. Can you believe that? Fans are more than ready to drop serious cash just to be in the building when Clark's number 22 goes up in the rafters. The demand is so high that Iowa is struggling to keep up. The cheapest ticket? A cool $522. Yeah, you heard that right. $522 for a seat. So, what's the deal with this massive difference? How did we go from Wilson, who has a statue outside her arena, to struggling to fill seats for her own jersey retirement? It's not just about what these women can do on the court. Both are incredible athletes. So, what's the real story here? I think it comes down to timing. Iowa clearly saw the buzz surrounding Clark and thought, yeah, we've got a good player, too, but instead of capitalizing on Wilson's prime, they waited too long. They missed the window where Wilson could have commanded that level of fan attention. In comparison, Clark's rise has been meteoric, and the hype is undeniable. The difference in how both athletes are being celebrated shows just how quickly things can change in sports. It's hard to ignore the fact that Caitlin Clark is overshadowing Aja Wilson's jersey retirement, and it's no wonder Wilson's moment feels more like an afterthought than a celebration. Two iconic names, one historic date, on February 2nd, 2025,